Mahmoud Khalil was arrested on March 8, 2025. ICE agents detained him at Columbia University, where he was a graduate student. Khalil is a Palestinian activist. He holds a green card, making him a legal permanent resident of the United States. Khalil's arrest sparked outrage and protests. Hundreds gathered in Manhattan to demand his release. The arrest raised concerns about the right to free speech and the targeting of activists. The arrest came amidst heightened tensions over the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Khalil was a vocal critic of Israel's policies. He had participated in protests against Columbia University's ties to Israel. This arrest is part of a larger pattern. The Trump administration has increasingly targeted immigrants and activists. It has also taken a hard line on issues related to Israel. The arrest of Mahmoud Khalil has brought these issues to the forefront. ICE initially claimed that Khalil's student visa was revoked. This turned out to be false. Khalil is a green card holder and does not require a student visa. Khalil's lawyers filed a habeas corpus petition. They argued that his detention was unlawful. A federal judge, Jesse Furman, temporarily blocked Khalil's removal from the United States. The Council on American Islamic Relations, or CAIR, condemned the arrest. They called it an attack on free speech and immigration laws. 14 members of Congress also criticized the arrest. They cited concerns about due process and the chilling effect on campus activism. The ACLU argued that the First Amendment protects political speech. They stated that deportation based on political views is unconstitutional. The arrest has raised serious legal questions about the government's authority to detain and deport immigrants based on their political activities. The Department of Homeland Security, or DHS, defended the arrest. They claimed Khalil was arrested for aligning with Hamas. This claim is based on executive orders that prohibit anti-Semitism. President Trump publicly labeled Khalil a radical foreign pro-Hamas student. He promised more arrests of individuals deemed a threat to national security. Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced plans to revoke visas and green cards of Hamas supporters. Critics argue that the government's justification is flimsy. They point out that Khalil has never been charged with any crime. They also argue that the government is using broad and vague definitions of anti-Semitism and support for terrorism to silence dissent. The arrest of Mahmoud Khalil has sent shockwaves through universities and immigrant communities. Many fear that this is just the beginning of a crackdown on dissent. Students at Columbia University and across the country are now worried about expressing their political views. They fear being targeted by the government for their activism. The arrest has created a climate of fear and self-censorship. The case also raises concerns about the erosion of due process rights. The government's attempt to deport Khalil without a fair hearing is deeply troubling. The outcome of this case will have far-reaching consequences for free speech, academic freedom, and the rights of immigrants in the United States.